if I can get my opponent bent over enough to get on top of the head with my arms. And I mean, somebody mentioned Dave Schultz. Dave would jump up to get on top of somebody's head. Okay? And I don't necessarily advocate that for a high school kid, but when we're fighting, if I see an opportunity to get on his head and just basically do a tricep press down, at the same time I'm taking my leg to the mat. Together. Okay, I've got to work my leg and my arm together. Just my arms aren't going to do it, just my leg's not going to do it, but if as we're fighting, I'm able to work them together and get this leg back down to the mat. That's step one. Step two is sprawl in a semicircle away from the leg that he has. Okay, if he lets loose, he's going to be extended. Easy to go behind, no hesitation. If he holds on, I work the knees, push, 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 stretch them out. Questions there? Next, high crotch. Okay? And one thing you'll notice, I'm sure most everybody in the room can attest to this. If you can't, you're my hero because you're ambidextrous. But I've never met anybody who truly was as good with a high crotch and single leg on the same leg. Okay? Either this is your high crotch side and this is your single leg side, or vice versa. But I've really never run anybody who was truly just as good here as they were here. So, if a guy shot a high crotch on this side, most likely, this is his high crotch side. And it's not his good single leg side. Tactically, that's an important thing to understand. Okay? So the first thing I do if I find myself in a high crotch is squat, nice athletic stance, block well, in this case his right arm, because I don't want him to switch to a double. One's bad enough, I don't want to give him two. So I block, so now try to switch off to a double, not going to happen. Okay? So, now that I've gotten in my athletic stance, and I've got this arm blocked, I'm going to feed him a hip, and I'm going to cross fix. And this is a tough thing for high school kids, right? They kind of want to do this with their hips. They don't know how to use them yet. Boom! I'm going to cross face and switch sides with the hip. And so it essentially looks like a circle. I pop, cross face, two hands on top of the head, stop, pivot, cover. Look where I'm at. Same spot. He lets loose, I go behind. He doesn't. I push on the knees, stretch him out, and work my progression. So, and the real subtle point that I tried to make to start with is, not only am I turning this into something that I've got some defense for, but I'm taking him from his good position to his bad position. And if we were talking about position, let's say he's got 65% position. If we're just throwing a number out. He's got better position, 65%. Just by taking his head here, it's probably 50% him. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but if somebody puts me in a single leg on my high crotch side, I'm looking for a way to let loose of the leg. I don't want to be there. I just don't feel good there. So, in addition to tactically gaining an advantage, I've also gotten back into a real fundamental position here that really minimizes risk and puts me in a position to score. Okay? Any questions there? Bad shot. I think we're about halfway. Is it half pass?
Pass. 43.
Oh, geez. Okay, just real quick. So, a couple things here in terms of this bad shot. There are not a lot of good options from here, as you know. But I think one thing that really helped me, and this is fairly athletic move, so, kids' mileage may kind of vary. But if I've got he's sprawled out on me here, if I've got it locked up, I will tripod up. You see how I've got my left elbow in the mat? I'm going to scoot my left hip underneath here and try to penetrate with my hips. Okay, at the same time, if I've only got one hand here, okay, go ahead and sprawl back. If I've only got one hand, okay, so I mean, you can kind of decide whether you want to show your kids that, but re-penetrating that hip by can help. Okay, so we're done.